That's what I said.
And that, will you want to wait to? Or want to approve pending changes?
I'm sorry?
Would you like to approve the minutes pending changes, or would you like to table the minutes and?
No, we can accept them as presented with the changes for next month. We'll prepare next month with changes. Okay. Anyone else, any discussion, any changes? If not, then we need a motion to approve and pending the changes.
I motion to approve the minutes pending changes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Do we have any citizen comments?
No, we did not have any citizen comments.
Library report, we'll start out with adult services.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jose. Thank you so much again for this invitation. This is great. We've had such a great time this past month in regards to all of our programs we have available. So that's part of the mural that we have here at Southlands, which is beautiful. But yes, if you can, we can go to the next slide, please. So we started again with the Little Lending Libraries, and I want to start out by thanking Parks and Recreation because we worked together, collaborated on trying to fix these that are all over the parks here in our city. And so far they've fixed already 3 of them, which is one of them is the one in front of Perkins, which is I can't remember the name right now of it, but it's the one in front of Perkins Middle School, the one on Central Boulevard, and the one on McNair Park. So those 3 have been fixed, and representatives from Parks have actually told us that they're all being housed right now, being fixed. So sooner or later, all of them will be replaced, which is great.
There's one up at Prax, Olivet Park, right?
Rex Oliva, that's the one by Palm Boulevard?
Mhm.
Yes, that one. Oh, is it bad?
Well, it was supposed to be maintained by Rotary. That's why I'm asking so that I can let them know.
Absolutely, thank you. Let me write that one down here. We'll go check that one out.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, follow up? Do you need somebody to help you with those things? I mean, to keep them up or paint them or advertise or,
That'll be great. We can get more people to help us out. That'll be beautiful. Because they have been very popular within our community. So we can get some more.
that is awesome. I didn't even know you all had that, but I'm part of Pan American Roundtable. And, you know, we give scholarships. And I'll have my our director call you, and I'm the finance, so we can buy a little paint.
There's money.
We can buy a little paint.
Is there a map that shows those at all, like on the website or?
There is an older one, and I'm still with Parks because there's a graphic designer. And right now it's on hold. She was going to design from the computer itself, from software, every single location that we have available. And so far right now, it's on the hold right now, but.
Cause yeah, I think that'd be nice to know, like if I knew where one was closest to me, I'm sure my son would get a kick out of going to find books in a little thing.
To find these hidden gems. I mean, we
Yeah.
found one right in front of Walmart, Ruben Torres. And yeah, we
I was gonna say I'm on the PID and I was gonna talk about possibly putting some in maybe in the Trail of Trees area, which is by Hudson and by the Island.
absolutely.
I'm actually chair on the board.
So much help. It's great. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you.
you know, some things you don't know. This is the first time I hear of that. No wonder, maybe I saw the little houses. I thought they were bird houses.
And they've been really popular because we go every month and they're packed. No, I mean, excuse me, they're empty, but we pack them every single time. So, wow, thank you. I'll definitely be in touch with you.
Yeah, and I work with Parks for the PID. I work closely with Damaris and Daniel Salinas.
And the one that Prax Olivet Rotary maintains it and paints it. So if you see it and it needs any kind of help, if you let me know, and then I'll let my Rotary group know so that they can work on it on Saturdays.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
Thank
you
you
can
so
get
much.
sponsorships.
I have a question on that. Do we know why the map is on hold? Because I think it would be a good idea to like have it posted on the website or maybe like Facebook page so people could know where they are.
Where they are.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know why it would be.
I don't know. I think they're pretty backed up with a lot of events.
Okay.
And now we're gonna have the Gates of Texas coming over. So that's pretty holding them back a little bit, but I'll definitely send them, I'll see what's the status on it.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And well, that's a combination of the computer classes that we had. That was the last class that we had. It's been such a huge success at both branches. And here at Salmos, we've always had a lot of great people show up. Every single day, there was somebody new that came over as students. So that was the last class that we did, and we will be resuming again next month here at both branches. And that's our party that we had. So everybody's having a great time. Yeah, so it's always.
I see tamales.
Yeah, it's always number one, when it's tamales. So everybody pitched in, everybody had a great time, and sooner or later we'll have everybody else back.
Will that program run through this summer? Or just?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's gonna go May, June, July, and then August again. And then our cooking classes, well, we always have such a great time with our cooking classes. We have that one last Monday when we're gonna have the board meeting. We had that class. It was a huge success. It was a simple dish, and we had more than 20-some people show up for that class. So it's always a great thing. Today we have the Dress for Success. So that is for preparing people to build up their resume, build up their attire when they go to work. And since I've had training and interviewing, and I've been on the other side, on both sides of the table, then definitely we can learn together about that. So we'll be having that today at 6 o'clock. And then our movie times are always such a great help here for people to get to know each other, have a good time watching movies. And it comes intertwined with our inclusion week, where we'll be having the last week of, well, actually next week, the last week of April. And that's what we'll be having here at both branches, at Salmos and at Central Inclusion Week, together with Library Week. We'll be having Disability Inclusion Week Teen Night on Tuesday, and for the adults on Thursday. We'll be having programming, and we'll be having speakers as well. Last week, I was so proud that I was invited to Region 1 for the 2nd Annual Autism Awareness in Edinburgh. And I got to meet a lot of great people there. Some of the founding members of Pismo and Mi Vida, I got to meet them. So I do want them to come over and be some of the guest speakers here. We'll be having also a lady from Idea Academy come over and speak that was referred to us to me actually by another patron. We'll have a lot of programming, a lot of speaking, a lot to raise awareness of Disability Week, of inclusion, that we're all together. So we'll be having that here next week and at Central too.
It'll be here only.
Here and at the other branches.
Same time?
Same time.
Okay.
Same time, same day. And these are other events that we have too. We have recipe swap as well. So when we don't have cooking classes, we'll have recipe swap. So we'll be swapping recipes with other people as well. They'll get to know each other, and the same way I cook is not the same way somebody else cooks. So it's a good one. Next. And then we had the candle making class, which was such a fun class. It was the first time that we had that here at both of our branches, and it was a big success. So it turns out that the lady that was the instructor was one of our patrons. So she offered herself and to teach that for free. And of course, why not? Anything to give back to our community. And that's what I'm happy, because that was from last year.
Last week.
But yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the help. I'll definitely be in touch with you all.
Yes, because we can help you take care of that. And one other thing, I used to work for the school district. I don't know if you know her, Adriana Lipa. She's in charge of the special services. And she's like my goddaughter. And so if you need her ever to come and speak about the programs that they have in BISD and what they offer and what, half the battle is knowing the process. It's not, how do I get in? How do I help my child? Well, this you do first. And some people explain it better than others, and others feel like you should know. Well, they don't know. Some people don't. And sometimes you have to hear it in a affectionate way, someone that has love in their heart for this and passion. So Adriana Lipa, and I have her number after the meeting. I'll give it to you. If you ever need her, I'm not saying use her, just if you ever need her, she's there to help.
Wow. Thank you so much. I mean, this is very few minutes that I spoke. I mean, all the help that I'm getting from y'all. Thank you so much.
Hopefully.
Anything else on adult services? Questions? Thank you. National Library Week.
Okay, that will be me, the board, Maribel de Leon. So next week, which is April 23rd to the 29th, we'll be celebrating National Library Week. Earlier this month, we had our, what is it called?
Recognition,
Proclamation.
Proclamation.
Signage for it. So we kicked off the month with a writing contest. We will be asking you as the board to be judging these writings that come in as they're submitted. We have 4 age groups. Each group is going to have a prize. For 0 to 5, 6 to 12, 13 to 17, and 18 plus. 0 to 5, we're asking them to draw a picture and do at least 1 sentence to that picture. And we have different writing prompts. I can't see it on my computer here, but so quick, the writing prompts are: the library's dragon has eaten your legs. How do you escape or survive? How can you encourage your family to be more inclusive in the library? The new librarians are robots. How would you react? I would love to see what everybody would think. Tell us about your favorite event held at the library. If you were to be locked in the library, how would you spend your time until you're rescued? Write about your favorite book and why you fell in love with it, or write a poem about the library. So at the end of the month, hopefully it's gonna run all the way till April 30th. Once we should have all our submissions by then, I will be sending them to you May 1st, and the winner will be introduced at the next meeting. Okay, so you should be seeing emails from me at the end of the month or May 1st with all the stories. Okay, so, and we'll give you like a rubric on like how you would rate them, and whoever has the highest rating would be the winner. Okay,
It's gonna be so fun.
I know, that is awesome.
and I will be sending this in email as well, so you'll also have it in your email. So you just keep an eye out for that email. And these are some of the prizes. These are the prizes that we got for them. We got the juvenile, which is 0 to 5 over there. It's an LCD writing tablet with some drawing pads and large crayon. We have that for the JUV, which is the 6 to 12, which is just a big art box with everything that they could use. Up here for the teens, we got acrylic, the glass calligraphy pens that are very popular right now. And for the adults, it's a stationary fountain calligraphy set. So these are the prizes that they can win. All right. Now, also with National Library Week, we're gonna have 3 events: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On next Monday, we're going to have Let's Glow paint party. So they're gonna be able to get little canvases, paint on it, and the glow in the dark paint under black light. So it's gonna be dark in there. And it's gonna be at both branches at the exact same time. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. And they will also be putting their signature or whatever they want to put on a larger canvas, which is going to be a set of 6, and that we're going to display afterwards. On Wednesday, we're going to have little librarians, which is they're going to be able to come in and they're going to read to little stuffed animals. They're going to sort books. We're going to teach them what it is to be a librarian. And then on Friday, we're gonna have open mic night. So if you know anybody who would like to come and join us on open mic night, we have 10 slots at each branch, and they will be able to do poetry, a short reading, music, lyric reading, whatever they want to do, it's up to, right? So we have 10 slots, again, 6 to 8 p.m. And that is everything I have for Library Week. Any questions?
I love the events. I love the events.
And I will be sending you guys the flyers along with the email.
Do you think we can get these to the different campuses as well? Just how we get the newsletter out, maybe?
I know they were with the newsletter. We put them on Facebook. I know we've, think Bianca had put them on Instagram as well. And I want to say we had shared it with one of the coordinators with BISD. But I'm also aware that BISD is also having an event that Friday night for open mic night. It's also like a poetry reading type thing. So hopefully we'll see how it works out.
All right, thank you.
It also got shared with our City of Brownsville newsletter as well, so.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Youth Services,
Okay, my name is Katie. I'm usually at the main branch, but I'm gonna be covering for Kayla. Next slide. So just to kind of go over, for the end of March, we did our Easter program, which was our extravaganza at Southmost. We got, over 400 people in attendance, so they were able to take photos with the Easter bunny. We set up the area outside so they can do an Easter egg hunt, and then we did give out some goodies that had books and some goodies inside of it. So next slide. And then for Maine, we did have, it was raining a lot, but we were able to, continue with the program. So we did have.
Improvisation.
Yeah, we did have to move it inside, but they were still able to enjoy it. We did do the Easter egg hunt inside in the main meeting room. So they were happy for the weather. And so the same thing, they were able to get their Easter eggs. We even had like an Easter egg hunt 3D inside the department for both branches. You can see that photo at the end. The little kid won the prize. So I'm very excited for that. Next slide, please. And then so coming soon, we are gonna have a superhero week. So we are gonna be having it was April. It's gonna be for the first week of April. Sorry, May.
May 1st.
Yeah, May 6th.
Back to the future.
Saturday, May 6th, yeah. Sorry, it's the first week of May. So we are gonna, we, compared to last year, we did a free comic book day, which is celebrated around, not just within the library. But this time around, this year, we wanted to include it for do something every day. So on Monday, we're gonna do the superhero perler beads. Tuesday, comic book trivia. Wednesday, dress like a hero story time. Thursday, the Marvel Studios store, Love and Thunder. And then Friday, Lego day. And then of course, Saturday is a free comic book day. So we are gonna have characters are gonna be dressed up so they can take photos. The kids and all the public are welcome to take photos. And we are gonna have at Maine and Southmost on the same day. So it's gonna be May 6th. So if you haven't visited the main branch, we did do some wall renovation. So we painted the walls.
That's before?
So that was the before. It was a little plain. White, very white, yes. And so that's the photo after. So we did add some color to the walls, just to kind of make more.
Like match the furniture.
Yeah, and so, so we were also able to get some furniture for the children's department, so it kind of, matches with the walls.
It's inviting, those colors, the kids, it's stimulation, when you have that color white or, then,
Imagine 30 years of that color.
well,
The previous one.
when I first started my career,
Yeah.
it was in kindergarten. I was a kindergarten teacher. So I'm used to a lot of color and dramatics and, because little kids learn like that.
When was it done?
This, like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I'd say it was done.
I was there last week and I don't think I even noticed.
Yeah.
That's really bizarre. I was like, wait, when was that done?
Yeah, it was like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
They were able to complete it in 3 days. We were like trying to, have it up and ready, so the page.
How bizarre. I did notice the furniture. I feel so strange that
Maybe that's what it was.
I distracted because it's very different. Like looking at the pictures, I'm like,
What was that?
how did I not see that? I was like, dang, did they just do that? Like, I was there last week. Okay, so
But yeah, so we're continuing to working on the children's department, but for right now, that's what we have. So
It's nice, very nice.
Of course, you picked the furniture and the colors.
yeah, I like
You think
it.
it's beautiful, right?
Little bit biased.
Even if it's not. And that's pretty much it. Have any questions?
Any questions, anyone?
I do want to add that is one of the things, going back to library week. You were there, Mr. Olivo, and most of the staff went to get recognized. That had never happened before. And the mayor said, Juan, that was very ingenious. And of course, before he asked me, Courtney spoke, don't worry, there's still staff manning the library, but he said, well, why is everybody here? What about the library? You know, we left some people in the library, but this is about them, you know, and they can recognize. And again, Katie picking the colors in the past, that wouldn't have happened. You know, it was always the administration painting this, and you know what, paint goes a lot way. It's not that expensive, and it's just about a thought and creativity, and it's all because of them, you know, so that's very proud of them.
You know, you're right. Whenever you have a new business and it's an old building, you'll see a new, coat of paint, new landscaping, because you want to make it inviting. You want to make it new and improved. And so, yeah, congratulations that you.
That was new, you know.
Yeah.
There was some issues behind the wallpaper, in 30 years of wallpaper. So it's now it smells new, you know, like a new building because of new just paint.
Well, hats off to you, because some people say it's been like that for 30 years. It's gonna stay like that. But you gotta listen to the folks that are working it, because they have the innovation for it.
Yeah, it's more inviting, and it goes back with the dino wall and dino zone. It's now, it seems to be, everything is strategic as to what we're doing. And now we have to go back to the other side where we had a dark green. Now we may have to change it to a different. But it is what it is. It's just paint, but with time, you know, and support.
Good job.
Thank you.
Now we're going to team services. My name is Arina Garcia. I'm librarian here, and I work with teams. The first activity for this month that we had was the team game night. We have it at both branches. They have a lot of fun. They were playing like chess, board games, video games, everything that they like. Here, they even bring their own remotes, so they are getting like more accustomed to have this type of activity, so they already know they can bring like their own remotes or whatever they want to play. And was a pretty successful activity. They really enjoy it. They love the snacks, the iced tea, and they were having a lot of fun. Then we have the Teen Anime Club. This night we saw Naruto. We have like a t-shirt hunt in both libraries, like, you know. So they were like very excited about it. They were able to get their prizes. We have a raffle. They really enjoyed the activity a lot. They were having a lot of fun. And then coming soon, we're gonna have the Night Battery Council that is today at May at 6. My coworker Beatriz, she's over there, the other team's librarian. We have a collaboration with the Workforce Solution of Cameron County. We're gonna have April 27, the mobile unit coming here to the Salmons. Our patrons will be able to make job searches, applying for jobs, work on their resume, print out resume. It's like going to the workforce, but in a mobile unit, they have computers. And then we're gonna have as well on May the 4th at the main branch a job fair. That would be the perfect opportunity for young adults and adults to get like a first job. So it's like not likely to people that didn't have a lot of experience. So that's the idea of this job fair. And then we are continuing with the reference for teens every second Sunday at Main and the third second here at Samos, 2 to 4 p.m. if they have any question about computers, about research, about PowerPoint, about Excel. And then as well, we are working with the public health department to have a yoga meditation in May, close to the, the end of the semester, so they can come here and relax. So they have to bring their own towel and yoga mat, and as well, if they are under 18, they parents need to be with them so they can sign a waiver for it. So let's see how that goes. And then we'll be at Samos on the 30th of May, and then in June will be in May will be June the 1st at 6 p.m. So we're gonna have that activity at both branches. Thank you so much. That's fine. Any questions?
Thank you. Makerspace services.
Hi guys, my name is Lázaro. I'm gonna be presenting the updates for Makerspace. So for my first slide was for last week. I was gonna be out and I was in my absence, but I am here, so we could ignore the first slide. I forgot I said that.
You do it on purpose, right?
So for our fun event, I believe this was for the one at the end of March, we did the spaghetti tower night. It was a challenge that I have completed multiple times in the past, including my engineering studies while at the university. And basically what you're doing is you're designing a structure that'll hold the mushroom at the top. And you could see all the different marshmallow. Yes.
Perhaps you need a marshmallow.
Out today. So you're holding the marshmallow and the goal is to hold that marshmallow as high as you can. And you could see the different approaches that each of our different patrons had to the challenge. All that was given to them was the same amount of spaghetti for everybody, one mushroom, the same amount of tape.
Mushroom. Are you hungry?
Of the tape and the string, and then no additional instructions, just you have to build this tower and it has to hold the marshmallow of the structure. Attendance, we had 21 people come to Southmost and 28 people come to Maine, so we had a pretty good turnout at each branch.
A good turnout.
After that, at the beginning of April, we had our poster printing class. We introduced our new poster printer, which is able to print items up to 3 feet wide and typically unlimited long. It is a poster that was purchased as part of our flag grant, and as part of that grant, we also promised that we would be hosting this event, which is why we held this event at both of our branches. As a sample, we printed out that coloring page that you see in the photos, and you could see all the kids coloring it here at Southmost. In attendance, we had 16 people here at Southmost and 15 people at Maine. And as part of the activity, they were coloring in the poster. The poster was made by our children's librarian, Kayla, who's not present today. But she did that, just, you know, she had a little bit of spare time and she's like, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna make this coloring page for you. And it was good because patrons were able to see something physical of what a poster could look like. The objectives for why we purchased this poster printer would be, as an example, for like science, it's called the competition.
Project.
Science fair?
Science fair, that one. A lot of times when you're making your science fair poster, you have to buy letters, you have to buy all these different things to decorate it. Well, this way, it'll enable the kids to be able to create their own poster. I know at the university, a lot of the students would use PowerPoint, just size it up to the size that they need it, and then they would print it that way. So that would enable our community to be able to make posters. And it doesn't even have to just be educational. It could be something fun. You can make your own happy birthday poster or whatever it is in a large format. There is a price, and the only reason that there's a price for this poster is just that we're able to keep our materials in stock. So it's $1 per linear foot. So you'll always get the 3 feet wide. But if it's like a 2 foot by 1 foot printout, you'll be charged just the 1 foot because that's the length of paper that you.
Garage sale.
Yeah. Your own garage sale sign.
I was gonna tell you in the picture before, the other slide, the one before,
Yes, ma'am.
that creates innovation.
Yes.
There was a competition when I was a principal, when snakes walked, and that they used to call academic decathlon. I don't know if y'all remember that. Only they would just bring stuff to you, and the whole valley, the whole state would compete. And whoever came up with an invention from the few items. So that is what reminds me of academic decathlon. They don't offer it anymore. It's not a competition. I don't know what happened. You know, I just keep saying that money for other things are there, but for the real things that just develop children's mind, it's not. So I'm so happy that you have that.
Yeah, it's something to help challenge and create, trigger that creativity in their heads, because I know a lot of kids are like, oh, how does this help me? Well, it's a fun way to start thinking about math, structural integrity, different aspects of engineering and creation. So that's what that project.
Aesthetics, math,
Um,
engineering, all of that. Good job.
So in terms of grants update, since we just spoke about the T-SLAC grant, so we're pretty much done with the T-SLAC grant, except for the IMAX, and that's not something that's on our end. That's something that we're waiting for on Apple's behalf, because since we're a government entity, they need to create our own account for that. So we're waiting for Apple to finish setting that up, and then we'll be, once we purchase those IMAX and then we host the event for them, we'll be done with that grant. And since that's on hold, as of right now, we're starting to work on the other grant that we were awarded for this fiscal year, which is the one by CDBG. I've already, at the moment of writing this, I was getting the quotes, but as of right now, I already got all the quotes that I need. So we're moving on to the purchase phase of that. So I'm gonna start forwarding all of that to the purchasing team so that we could start getting those new machines in and we could host the events.
What are the machines that are gonna be bought with that new?
So for that new grant, we're gonna get the grant itself is paying for 2 Ultimaker S5s, which are 3D printers, faster and newer than the ones that we currently have. It's also gonna have a large format laser cutter and engraver with, because what some patrons have brought up with the Glowforge was that it's not big enough to engrave cups. And we've had that brought up several times to us. So with this large format engraver, it's large enough for them to come in and make their own cups on that. And then it's also gonna include a Dell monitor with a Dell computer upgraded so that it'll run all the different creativity softwares that they need.
More power.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen with the machines we already have? Are there still gonna be in circulation? There's still gonna be, okay.
The reason that we're getting the new 3D printers is to ensure that we don't start falling behind on the 3D prints, because we continue to receive a lot of those. And then the reason for the large format laser engraver is just because the Glowforge is too small, so it'll be worked. If it's a small project, there'll be a little bit more towards try to use the Glowforge. If it's a large one, then we'll use the big laser cutter and engraver. And then the computer is to help them in the process of creating their design.
Are there any plans at all to buy a direct to film printer? Because I know with like the sublimation, I didn't know this because I tried to do a t-shirt. I didn't know that you could only like do t-shirts on white t-shirts because it absorbs the ink. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be like a direct to film printer where I know those you can do color and also the Cricut where you can do color as well,
Yeah,
but final.
For this fiscal year, these are all the grants that we applied for and that we were granted. I know that Anthony and I have been discussing what teams we might want to start applying for the next fiscal year. So that we could work on that and get new machines in. I know that we've thrown around the idea of an embroidery machine and stuff like that, but there are ideas that we're still discussing before proposing them and then applying for the grants that we would need for them.
Is there a timeline?
For the CDBG, we do need to have all the machines in. We're hoping to have them in by June, July at the latest. So that we could have all of our events before the end of the fiscal year. So we have until October, November to have all the machines in and host the events.
By the end of the fiscal year.
And is there an evaluation?
Did
they require you to do that under the grant?
Yes, under the grant, they want us to post surveys from the patrons that come to the events, ask them what types of services they want in the future. And then any patrons that will be coming in to use those machines, we also need to survey them to see what the machines are being used for. As of right now, most of the surveys that I've been picking up have been for personal use, like small decorations that they want for the home and
T-shirts.
yeah, t-shirts.
Grandchildren.
Well, I was trying to make a t-shirt for autism awareness.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I brought in a black t-shirt and I was all like, no, you can only do white. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
You can do light colors, but if you do.
It looks better on white.
It'll look better on white.
Mhm.
The color of the substrate it'll peek through the
Yeah.
colors on the ink. But I'll keep in mind the direct to film so that we could probably.
That could be something.
Yeah.
Is it here? Is it on Central as
We-
well?
We have it at both locations,
Oh,
the
okay.
the sublimation.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This past month, we also worked on staff training. And what did we do? We taught them the basics of a makerspace and gave them a FAQ presentation for each of the different machines that we have. A lot of our staff knew the basics of what the products looked like once they were done, but they didn't know the process that we went through for creating these different projects. So this helped them better understand the different what we're working on, because sometimes they walk in and they're like, you're always sitting on your desk. I'm like, yes, with 2 screens and a lot of work behind those screens. So we were able to give them the basics of the work that we've been doing within Makerspace, keep them up to date with different machines that we've received throughout the fiscal year as of right now. And then we introduced them to basics of safety around each of the different machines. And that was just to create the foundation, because from here on forward through the end of the year, we're also going to work on one-on-one training with each of the machines. So every time I have somebody scheduled in Makerspace with me, they're going to be learning a different machine. So that if for some reason Anthony or I have to be out, Makerspace continues to be available to our patrons.
And that's the intent, that the services must continue. We're blessed to have Lázaro and Anthony at Makerspace Advisors as their title. And obviously this is it's a baby, this department is a baby as far as we're still learning. And in fact, they're gonna be, I've asked them to make a presentation to library administration on the state of the Makerspace, what's going on, what are the wants versus what are the needs. And let's throw a figure out there. It's my job to figure out whether it's grant-based, there's other funding source, but at least we know as administration, and obviously we can make a presentation to you as to what are the wants and the needs. And again, with Makerspace, it's always going to be evolving. You know, the 3D printers, the minute you buy one, there's already a new one on. So we need to cup and Makerspace is not necessarily going to be just in the Makerspace room. It could be out here on the floor. We've even bought some portable 3D printers or something so we can take out when we do outreaches. And so it's still in infancy stages. It's evolving. It's more than just 3D printing. It's working with the hands. And so they're going to be making a presentation as to, we're here to support them. And so they need to show us because we don't pretend to know Makerspace as they do, but we want to learn and how can we help them? And I told them, don't worry about the money. That's my job. And we can legit what is it, strategically plan what we can get now and what we can offer for grant, or we have to do a special budget amendment, what have you. That's my job. Their job is just to let us inform and inform you guys, because it's still a new department. We're so used to children's department, we're so used to reference, but Makerspace it's a new and quite frankly, I don't think it's always gonna be evolving. You know, I've challenged them to come up with some kind of virtual machine, maybe some kind of driving simulator. Like I know that BID, the adult continuing education, they're providing CDL classes, right? And so why not have a simulator where the kids can study shifting and all that? Let's try it out. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work out. But I'm sure kids are gonna have fun no matter what. You know, so just thinking ahead and obviously maybe the virtual will be a little bit hard because it would cause business for some people, but maybe just be innovative and put it out there, put a center out there and just try it out. Stimulating, flying, there's a shortage of pilots, shortage of drivers. Just have it out there. If we fail, but at least we tried.
You're not gonna fail. That people learn different styles, different ways. You know, I learned through, I was trying to fix my vacuum cleaner. What do you call it? YouTube. That I got on that. And so that's how we're learning now.
How many people know how to drive stick shift right now? Well, there's very few, right? But there's actually, I have it in my, personally, I have a that's how I learned how to shift, you know, the 18 shifters and the clutch and everything. It's a lost art now, you know, so.
I would crash.
So, huh?
That I would crash.
I wouldn't even know how to start.
Yeah.
That was it.
Good job, Leslie.
You got us thinking of stick shifts.
Yes.
And not mushrooms, right?
And not what you're- Outreach.
Okay, so Ms. Courtney Taylor couldn't be here today. She's our outreach coordinator. She's actually at TLA, or on her way to TLA, one of the two.
But we've been sending 2 staff members a year to Texas Library Association's annual conference. And so this year we sent our assistant library branch manager and our outreach coordinator to go and enrich themselves, and in return, they come and teach us what they learn, because we can't send everybody. And so TLA has been, that's how we get ideas. That's how we interact, and you know, because we don't pretend to know it all. So Courtney, I know, knowing Courtney, she's gonna be bringing up with a lot of ideas. So go ahead.
You ready?
So the first place that we went to visit is the RGB Health Changa. Right over there, they were there telling about checkout material, the new stuff that we have, which is iPads. And of course, at that time, they were still looking forward to the extravaganza. The total attendance was 6 children, 11 teens, 116 adults, for a total of 199. The other place we visited and continue to visit is the Mexican consulate. It's a partnership that we have built with them. At that time, we were able to visit with 13 people. They were happy to hear about the ACLC classes, which is adult computer learning classes. And the team members that went was Ms. Bertha Gomez and Jeanette Yala. And it's something that we're going to continue doing with them, hopefully with these coming up months that we're going to continue going out there. The other event that we did was Dia la Mujer Internacional. We went over some of the databases such as FreeGal and Canopy. And of course, like what each of those databases are. One of them's for music, one of them's for movies, for streaming. The people who went were Maria Isabel, Melinda, and Nicole. We saw 5 children and about 203 adults for a total of 208. I know I went last year. It's so much fun to be there. So many things to see. The other event we did was 100 years of Texas State Parks. So the feedback was that the kids had fun building bird casts and discussing upcoming children's programming. The team members that went were Amanda Galindo, Gwen Tonde, and Hila Trevini. I should give more information. And we saw 92 children, 46 teens, and 69 adults for a total of 207 patrons. We also visited BCHCs, Brownsville Community Health Centers, during spring break. The question they asked, most of the questions that they asked was about 3D printing and the machines and all the new makerspace stuff that's coming up. Jose Gonzalez and Melinda Clayton were the 2 that went. We got to see 10 children, 4 teens, and 28 adults for a total of 42 people. We went to go see Valley Grand Manor Adult Daycare, which is right there by Central Branch. And they were grateful for the crafts, and we were able to talk to them about the stuff that we could help them with. And it was Bertha was the member that went. They did ask us not to take any pictures, which we respect that, especially, in those types of situations. And we got to see 14 adults. Mr. Gonzalez went to Jardín Adult Daycare again. They really like him over there. Keep asking him to do that. They were able to celebrate together and talk about the cooking classes and the magazines and other databases and programs that they have for adults at both branches. We were able to see 72 adults, so a total of 72 people. We went to the farmers market, which is something that I know we try to do as often as we possibly can. We were talking about the Glow Forge, the CNC machines, and other 3D, other makerspace projects and programs that we have. And Harry and Courtney were the ones that attended. We saw 134 children, 16 teens, and 152 adults for a total of 302, which is pretty success. Again, we went to B Metro. Again, something that we're trying to continue with them because there's so many people who ride the bus, and every time we go, we see different people. It's not the same people, so it helps us outreach to the people that don't know what services we provide. And as Mr. Guerra had said last time, we have 2 routes, one that comes here and one that goes directly to both branches, so they each have a stop. We were able to see 39 children, 28 teens, and 76 adults for a total of 143. And our team members that went were Amanda, Lisbeth, Jose, Alma, and Jeanette. And it's a good amount of team members that went, but because it's a lot to intake. We went to the BCHC Migrant Farewell Health Fair. Our partners, team members that went was Josue, Amanda, and Courtney. We went over notary public services, ACLC classes, and other free events for our migrant families. And we were able to see 5 children, 16, 63 adults, and 74 for 74 total. And then in the library, we were able to do promote our financial. Sorry. We were able to do different types of promotions within the library, both here at the main and at the Southmost branch. During our extravaganza, so we had a table out, we were giving out information about all the different classes that we have. One of them was the financial class that they give here, as well as the other databases and free programs that the people can see. As you know, we have large crowds for those types of events, so we try to do tables for those events so we can hand out as much information and do library cards as well for those who don't have them. And that is it. You have any questions?
Questions?
I had a
Thank-
question. I had a question about the what's it called? The electronic sign, what's it called? Marquee?
Marquee.
Yeah. I work on Central, so I pass the library very often, and I feel like I always see just like funny quotes more often than like y'all's events. Like, I don't know, you probably do. I finally saw one that said, come check out Makerspace. And I was like, okay, well, at least that gets people, but if people don't know what Makerspace is, that's not helpful. So I don't know if we can, like, it'd be better if it was like, ask us about our 3D printers or come try, you know what I mean? Like if the point of it is to get more people to go in for events or for things, because I mean, the things are always cute. Like it was some, like reading with my peeps, but like, it's like a billboard where it's just like funny, but like doesn't tell me anything about the events. So I just didn't know how often those were circulating or anything.
We have a staff member that does that, and we definitely take your input into that. We can promote more of that. So yeah.
Because it's always cute, but I mean, at the times I've passed, the only time that I've seen something that's not like one of the cute things was where it just said, come check out Makerspace. And again, people might not even know what Makerspace
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And
I have a follow-up comment to that. I was just thought about it right now, that I think it would be really cool to do like a Makerspace Mondays, maybe like every month, where you highlight one of like the machines and you could do like a YouTube video, then you can put it online. We can share it on Facebook, put it on the website, just a short, quick 2-3 minute video, like highlighting the Glowforge maybe. And then the next month, whatever we're doing, you can highlight like the poster maker and like how it would be used. And we have these services like where people will actually be able to see what we have
that's a
available.
very good idea.
It's a monthly event, but
Mhm.
we don't do the YouTube video.
Yeah, maybe we can correlate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's more work, but it's
Know what that
and-
is.
and people will be actually more informed about it. Like I was conversing with my sister when I was trying to do the shirt. I was telling my sister about the heat press. She's like, what do you mean? The library has a heat press? I'm like, yes. She's like, oh my God, I've been ironing the
Forever.
letters. I was like, no, I'm like, they have a heat press. So like stuff like that, maybe,
Yep.
you know, it would be good to like do a short little 2-3 minute video, like this is what we have, this is the type of material that you can use this machine for, come out and use it,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
something. along
And those are
lines.
great ideas, and that's our goal. And this normally I'm trying to be as positive as possible, but we have to take into consideration that we are working on reclassification of some staff,
Mhm.
provide us a video editor, or something, because we're very limited on staff. So, but that's not an excuse, Ms. Gonzalez, but the ideas are there. And when we had COVID and we were closed, we had more staff that could do the videos, but it takes time. But we are working,
Mhm.
whether it's through grants, it's hard to have staffing grant, but we are working, and that's why I want to make sure that the Makerspace staff kind of promote themselves more by
Mhm.
state of I have some kind of back, so I can go to administration and say, you know what, I need more staffing.
Mhm.
But the ideas are there, and believe me, we value the ideas. But if I want to add something, it's not it's a direct correlation. Before my tenure, previous administration did not believe in outreach. And so we, after COVID, one of the things we needed to have an outreach person to go out there and basically reinvent ourselves and tell the public what we have. Obviously, we're still fading or struggling to promote what we actually have to serve or what we have serving, like Makerspace and Glow Forge and all that, but there's a direct correlation within the outreach and the utilization of the library. Because as I said several times, after we opened, we had very few people coming in. Now we're averaging about 5,000. So there is a direct correlation, and we are working on that, Mr. Palace, and it's just, we have a budget and we have to prioritize. But once we do that, then we can say, okay, you know what, do we reclassify a staff member? Do we add another staff? Adding staff to the city commission is like, it's a big no-no. So we have to be creative as to how we can utilize our staff, because we can't ask a staff member to do something out of their job description. You know?
No, and they're already giving 100%.
And so I have to make sure that I get.
Or
that, but
maybe we can turn it into like a
Positive-
contest type of thing.
content.
Like a TikTok contest. Teens love TikTok. So maybe we could have like a TikTok contest for.
A sponsor is TikTok, but I get the idea. One time, a long time ago, Brenda, I think you'll be here long, where the teenagers made a video of the Sosmos Library, and the kids can be, maybe as a volunteer, have them work for us in a way. They can be very creative. And so, but yeah, I think we're on to something. It's just give us time.
No, yes, of course.
Yeah. Anything else on outreach? Thank you.
I can use my son as free labor, right?
Yes, definitely. He does all of
Yeah.
the video editing
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah, he does it always when he was in school and now at our church, you know.
Okay, we've come to the end of all our library reports, and all of you are truly, like Ms. Peña said a while ago, you're doing more than your 100%. So thank you for all your work and all your efforts that each and every one of you put towards keeping everything going. Thank you so much.
And I thank you for your support. Believe me, it's noticed. I see you attentive, and we're here to help you. I ask again, you like this concept? You wanna? Obviously, we're asking you something different than being as far as the contest. I hope that whoever wants to participate to be, you can be the judges. You want to say something, Brenda? I thought you raised your hand.
But I'll let you finish.
I'm done.
Pineda wants to ask a question. Mr. Pineda, there's something she wanted to ask?
No, I was just gonna say thank you. Thank you for all your work. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Brenda.
I just wanted to let you know that Katie has actually been promoted to assistant library branch manager.
Oh, congratulations.
But now we have a vacancy to replace her. Yeah, so right now she's trying to do double duty but again, we've done a lot of reclassification, a lot of promoting, because I believe in my staff. And so we're moving forward to provide the best, and we're the best library in South Texas. I have no doubt.
I know you are. 2 years ago, I was in an advisory board.
Mhm.
You don't know how hard you worked, because I never knew of all the people that made these things happen. But your activities, the investment in materials and supplies has just grown. I'm in awe. I think, if we tell you, why don't you do this or why don't you do, they're minute because you're catching the big stuff. But we also realize as a board that you're only human and we can't burn you out. We want more of you, but we got to work smarter, not harder, right? So maybe we do it this way for now, and let's try something else. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But what a shame with all the supplies and materials that you have with the space maker, the whatever it's called, or the space, whatever. All those things that you've invested so much money, you're making our community better. You folks are, single-handedly have made the library a better place to be at instead of out in the street for kids. So hats off. I don't just want to give compliments, I would be the first one to tell you, this doesn't work. I like organization and I like planning and I like outcomes to happen. It seems like you've got the ball rolling. It's moving forward. I see everything positive and hopefully we can advise you and we can help you, make this even better than ever. And I love Brownsville and, I want to do the best that I can for it. And all of us do. We're here for you. So let us know.
Thank you. Mr. Leo, if you don't mind, can you give me a minute? I don't know if Bobby wants to speak on the friends and what's going on. Let me say personally, we've been working together well. We have good ideas. We want to bring the friends back because they're integral part of our summer reading program and all year. And so she's been very open to opening more hours. We're trying to even try to get a MOU where we can use our staff at Southmost to open. Because we were having problems getting volunteers for Southmost, but the friends, we don't wanted to improve on our relationships, not continue, but improve our relationship. And Bobby has been nothing but help us. I want, if you don't mind, just a couple of minutes of what's going on.
Actually, we just had our annual meeting and our election, so I was finally voted in as president instead of being appointed. We are trying to open more hours. We are looking for volunteers desperately right now and donations too, because we get a lot of the libraries nonfiction and stuff like that, but a lot of people have accessible for movies or whatever, and we'll happily take that in. Our patrons are always coming in to see what's new this week, and we haven't had a whole lot of new variety for it. We have been since opening in January, we were averaging pretty good sales just doing Friday, Saturday and Sundays, but now we've been able to open on Monday through Thursdays we're trying to be at 4 o'clock, but it's been later, like 4 to 8. So that patrons that come in during the week are able to come in. We've had a lot of response from families that enjoy coming in to be able to see the kids' books and stuff that are there. Formerly being a bookstore manager, I try to set it up like a regular bookstore. So everything's divided. The displays are constantly turning over or nothing, and trying not to let it get stale. And we're trying to work with the library also. We want to do a big book sale at both branches. The issue of staffing it is what we're working on. What we're trying to see as much as we can do. I go in almost daily to the central branch to try to make sure that there's staff, there's new stuff out, whatever we've got. But we're here to help. I'm just trying to support the library, whatever we can to keep the children's program going. They did ask us for a donation for the summer reading program, and we are pledging to give 8,000. They requested 11, but we're able to help with 8. For this year.
What donations are you looking for? Books and DVDs or?
Books, DVDs, CDs, you name it, we try to sell them. Yeah, pretty much. We try to really push the books. That's our biggest things, but we do have a lot of patrons that enjoy the book. We had video games, even people request those, and we had them for a while, but we sold out.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a ton of
Out to Junior Service League for volunteers.
No, I'm not familiar.
Their pledges have to do volunteer work for their first year that they're in the organization.
Oh, okay.
And they're mostly ladies and the organization are all ladies. And so that would be someone to try to get a hold of, the Brownsville Junior Service League. Because I know they do clinics at Sunshine Haven on Saturdays from 9 to noon, cleaning, sweeping and doing all kind, their pledges have to do all this. And
Yeah, what we have is, we have our schedule. Usually it's like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Shifts like available and people just say, okay, every week I'll come on Monday at this time. So we're just trying to get more people on our schedule as well.
Yeah, I know they're real good about helping them because they send their pledges when we serve. I serve with a group of people at Good Neighbor
My
dinner.
parents are there now.
So they're helping us too. So that's why I say if they can help, they'll be here and they can help you.
Thank you for that.
The Junior Service League.
I judge a community by how many libraries and how many bookstores they have. And because Brownsville is lacking in bookstores, I look at that as a bookstore option.
That's why I'm constantly promoting it. I'm the one that comes to do the Southmost. We do it the last Saturday of the month. I sit here every last Saturday and just hope people come in. We have had a few people visit and they didn't even realize it was a bookstore. And I'm glad, we're doing more, they're helping me put it out on Facebook more often so that people are aware, and then I blast it, and then I've gotten the younger friends of the library members.
And maybe put it in the marketing. I don't know if they do or not.
Oh, yeah.
The market, or maybe when they present their different programs, they could also mention that
Yeah.
there's.
Books available for sale.
Yeah,
I know that they do send people in, and then you had new librarians come in and they were just amazed. They were like, only a quarter and 50 cents per book, so.
Yeah, that's what's exciting, that we just continue to try to improve and learn.
And all of the patrons that come in are always like, what are you reading now? And they want favorite new books or whatever fiction we can find, or they take anything. So we're happy to take any kind of donations to circulate it.
well,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're at the end of our agenda and we need a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
Thank you, and
Thank you all.
see you
Thank
next month.
Good job, everybody. See you
Thank
next.
you, everyone.
Thank you. Can you guys stay here in the. All of you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks. Yes. Your wife came back?
Thank you. We have Brendan too.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna start working. And then he's gonna go back. He's gonna go back.